Many things going on in the world today. Every time Dick and Harry got something to say. But what they said ain't got no fabric to it. Yeah, takes the thoughts with dice right through it. It's all about rumors and people feuding. If we're not uplifting, then what we doing? Yeah, they love the culture, yet they trying to wreck it. But are we ready to go hard to protect it? If we don't stand firm, then we're sure to fall. Are you ready to fight the stain and accept the call? Or it's all about dealerships and the mall? Now I'm ready to go for broke like Apostle Paul. I'm charged with the task to keep it real. Moving straight forward, not about to yield. Tackling every subject, yeah, you know the drill. R.I.P. Guru, I bring that mass appeal. Our ancestors stood tall, despite abuse. We got all the tools, so what's our excuse? It's time to show a face and take off the mask. It's something every yay, it's the podcast. 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 It's something every yay, it's the podcast.
Good evening. What it do, what it do, what it do. Episode 4 of the Something Every Years, the podcast. This is what I need y'all to do, though. I need y'all to go to YouTube and subscribe. Now, you must do as I say, though. You must do as I say. When you go to YouTube, you must go to Danye F. Jones. Danye F. Jones, because bootleg Danye's out there. Go there and subscribe. Danye F. Jones. Okay. So how y'all doing? Hope everything's great. Y'all getting ready for the 4th of July, which is coming up tomorrow. So what we would do, though, today, we're going to be talking about mental health. We're talking about mental health. I usually start off with some other subjects, but I would do those at the end. I'm going to bring in our guest now, so we can get this thing started. Okay. We have here Dr. Sonia Clyburn. How you doing today, Doc?
Greetings.
How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes. Thanks for joining me. Well, first, I want you guys to learn something about this sister here. Strong sister. She has a bio for the ages. So I'm going to try to skip through it because she's been handling her business. But I will go here. Let me pull up my glasses here. You know, I got reading glasses now. I never wore glasses. All right, here we go. Dr. Sonia Clyburn is a licensed clinical psychologist in the state of Maryland and the District of Columbia. That's DC, y'all. She has been practicing clinical psychology for over 15 years and has a private practice. Dr. Clyburn is a certified trainer, professor, consultant, evaluator, life coach, and victim advocate. She is currently the Director of Counseling Services at Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland, and serves on the Human Rights Committee for several Department of Disability Services agencies in Washington, D.C. A little more. Recently, she was appointed to the Maryland Health Advisory Committee for the Maryland Higher Education Commission and was listed in the month of May as an expert in mental health in higher education from the American Council of Education. Dr. Clyburn has been a trainer in mental health, first aid for over 10 years. Her clinical interests include cultural issues, sexual identity issues, attachment, grief and loss, depression, trauma, anger management, conflict education, leadership development, and group process. So she got her PhD, from the American School of Professional Psychology at Argosy University in DC, and her undergrads at HBCU, Winston-Salem State University, home of the Fighting Rams.
That's right.
And so they call each other Ramley. It's the Ramley. Now, I used to be a Ram for a second, so I just put the G on. I went to Graham, so it's Gramley. So we got some Gramley and Ramley going on in here. And also, she's a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, the AKA. She's my daughter, Sarah. So welcome. I know it's a whole lot more I could say about this sister, but yeah, I want to jump into it. But she's very well accomplished. And I wanted to do this thing about mental health. I want to be honest with you. I just really started giving this credence probably within the last 8 years. I never really looked at it as a real thing. And I'm kind of ashamed to say that, but until I seen two individuals who I view were strong, and they are strong, but when I had to come see them in an institution, it broke my heart. And I was like, wow. So that's when I really, 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 really started looking at this. What I want to do real quick, Sonia, if I can get it to work, is this little clip I saw I want to try to present.
Okay.
Bear with me, y'all. Let's see here. Okay. Just gonna go here. Okay. Yes, when I saw that, I thought that was interesting. What made me think of, we pass by people every day. They may smile, they may cry, they may laugh, but we really don't know what they're going through. And I love the illustration when all the things going on in people's heads. Even two people were sitting as friends, and both of them, they may have been having a conversation about one thing, but their both minds are racing somewhere else. I thought that was very, very interesting. Hold on, let me take off my glasses so I can see what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what you think about that clip, Doc?
I think it's real. I think it can be multi-layered. That many times when you're dealing with mental health, like you stated, you don't know what people are going through. Sometimes you don't see the symptoms. Mental health doesn't have a face. It can go on to anybody. It doesn't discriminate. And like you said, at the end, it said, pay attention to your mind, take care of your mind. And so when you think about your mind, those are things, the experiences that you have. Your brain is the organ, but the mind is based upon the experiences that you have. So many times those experiences can impact us in different ways, positively and negatively. And when you're thinking about mental health, it really focuses on the psychological, the social, the emotional aspect. And it can impact, like you said, your thinking, how you relate to others, how you see yourself. So I think that clip was definitely something that people should see and know, and people can normalize that mental health and well being is something that is natural. It is something that we should pay attention to, and that everyone can be impacted.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, a lot of people really don't understand this subject. So, exactly what is, in layman terms, what is mental health?
Yeah, like I stated, mental health is your capacity to think about your social, psychological, your emotional well being, right? It impacts how you think, how you feel, how you act, behave. It impacts everything that you do, how you relate to others, how you make choices, how you see yourself, how you just show up in life.
Yeah.
So that's the general term for it, the definition, I should say.
Okay. I was talking to someone and I couldn't answer this question, but I'm sure you can. Like, what is the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
Right? A psychologist is one that has knowledge about mental health disorders, treatment interventions and things of that nature. Psychiatrists are those that have been through medical school that actually can prescribe medication for mental illnesses.
Now, can some psychologists prescribe as well?
Depends on what state. Not all
State,
states have that,
right.
that ability.
Yes, I think 'cause I looked it up. I think Illinois is one of the states where I'm in that they can in certain
Okay.
states. But I think it's only maybe five. It's
Wow.
not a whole lot. Okay, now has the stigma changed in terms of specifically with African Americans in terms of us going to seek someone for help? Has the tide changed or are we still iffy about it?
I think for the younger generation, things have changed. But when you think about middle age and older adults, the stigma is this is still there. I believe help seeking behaviors have improved based upon the increase of African American clinicians. However, there's still that stigma and the mistrust of the mental and medical fields as it relates to Black mental health.
Yes, as you know, I'm in education. SEL, social emotional learning is huge, and we do a lot of things. And we still have even some educators who are pushing back on that because the states they're pushing everybody for test scores, test scores, test scores, test scores, test scores, attendance, attendance, and they don't understand if the child is going through something, they're not thinking about no algebra.
That's right.
And I remember when I was a dean at this high school and I was over security there, and the kids would come in, they're coming through in the morning, the metal detectors, and sometimes security would go at them so hard. And it's the first thing in the morning, and they don't know what a lot of those kids had been through the night before. And I just think a lot of times we just go after people, not knowing they are literally right on the edge. And just I was thinking about this is an extreme situation. Obviously, Jeffrey Dahmer needed to see someone, obviously,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
he had to go get gas. He had to go to the store and get milk. He had to go shopping. So people pass by people with issues every day, and I think we take that a lot for granted. And it's just a real tough situation.
Well, I think you're right on that. I think at times we have limit our humanness, that compassion and humility, and we're in a rat race. Many times people don't care. It's about their own elevation.
Yes,
However, as Black people, we have to continue to focus on collectivism and what that means. Each one teach one. We have to go back to Sankofa and pull each other up. But many people don't have that ideology, but we need to
yes,
return to that.
yes. And you definitely said middle age and older. So what about men,
Mm.
specifically Black men of middle age? Are they a tougher cookie to crack, or what do you think?
Well, I think Black men, they are, well, they have limited access of services. They are unfortunately more inclined to have social injustices, more inclined to have mental health disorders, more inclined to have high rates of suicidality, homicidality. So they're up against a lot. And I think it's important for us as clinicians and as a community to really think about innovative solutions in terms of helping our Black men. And we have to really think about what that may look like from a systemic point of view, like racism. How are we coming together as a community? How are they coming together in a brotherhood?
Yeah.
Research purports that relations with other men
Mhm.
improves mental health, right? Particularly those in the same mindset, and having that accountability, that sense of brotherhood, that sense of love and Black love and Black identity improves one's mindset. So I think, yeah, they may have dealt with so many atrocities. Help seeking behaviors are less due to limited access of services. Many times Black men want to speak to Black men and or Black women. If you think about the field, mental health field, there are more Black women than Black men in the
Yes,
field.
yes.
So, I mean, there's so many different variables that kind of relate to some of the issues why Black men may not seek services.
Yes, that's important what you said too, in terms of I was talking to some guys that was talking, said, man, as men, a lot of times, even if it's a sister, it's hard for us to feel vulnerable to a
Mhm,
woman, even if it's our woman. I do think all Black men should have a man they can feel vulnerable with, who's
mhm,
not going to judge them, who's going to lift them up. And luckily now I have a few. I have a few. I'm thankful for that, and I have no problems. And I want to be that sounding board too, just in case if they have an issue. So I
mhm,
think that's very very important, very important. Now, in terms of parents, because this generation seeing a whole lot of stuff that we definitely didn't have to even deal with. You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? So because I was thinking, like, my daughter graduated from high school in 2017. Things have changed so much in 7 years.
Mm,
I'm like, Lord, I'm glad this girl ain't in high school no more.
mhm.
We already was at each other's throats, but there's so much stuff coming at them so fast. So, what are some of the signs that parents can look for? I know it different from child to child and different situations, different backgrounds, but what are some kind of notable signs that a parent can look for?
Look for in terms of mental health
Yeah,
issues? Well,
yes,
yeah, it definitely varies. So I'm just going to take some time and really talk about each one because when you're thinking about young teenagers, middle age, middle school children, anger is a common or agitation is a common feeling that they may have due to a myriad of factors. However, say for instance, depression and anxiety is very common in that population. So
yes,
you want to think about sadness, tearfulness, social isolation, alienation, loss of appetite, loss of eating. Well, that is appetite, but loss of sleeping,
yes,
things of that nature. But then on the flip side, they may have increased sense of low self-esteem, right? That's something
yes,
you may, or hopelessness or helplessness. That's with depression. And when you think about depression, those are things that tend to happen in the past. Like
yes,
I said, sometimes people will have anxiety too, young people. So a sense of worry, a sense of threat, a feel of not being in control. And when you think about anxiety, those are things that they are fearful of in the future. So one, depression is about the past, anxiety is about the future. So if you see your child fidgeting, unable to concentrate, unable to sit still, um, loss of focus, lack of concentration, any of those types of things, you definitely want to get them some help in terms of seeing a clinician. And particularly if they're having a sense of wanting to harm themselves and
absolutely.
or harm someone else.
Now, do you think can these issues be cured without medication? You feel without medication or without institutionalization?
Absolutely. I think it's all about when you think, let me take a step back. So, when you think about mental health, everyone may have mental health challenges, right? People, we're human. There are over 400 emotions that one person can experience, right? However, when it becomes a mental illness, that means there has been some a duration of symptoms, frequency of symptoms. There has to be persistency in the symptoms. So that will cause like an episode, right? So everyone may feel sad, but doesn't mean everyone is depressed,
Yeah,
right? And not all depressed people want to harm themselves,
right.
right? So you really have to think about what that may look like in terms of treatment. So when you're thinking about, okay, did I lose you? Hello, are you still there?
Yes, you know what, people, I am so sorry. Sometimes technology, now this laptop is tripping, but the devil is a lie.
Right. I know
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know what was going on here. Had a little glitch there, but sorry about that. Hopefully it don't happen again. Uh, okay. I think we may have lost her. We may have lost her, but let me try to bring her back. Let's try to bring her back. That's what we want to do. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Bring her back. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yes, yes. Here we go. Here we go.
All right.
Yes, I am sorry, but you gotta think on your feet. Think
That's
on your feet.
okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
So it was good. For everybody was watching, hey, that was a good chance. You go use the bathroom, go grab you something to drink, grab you a Twinkie or something, marinate them ribs real quick, whatever. Okay. Back to it. But a question though, I have, in your professional opinion, has the importance of mental health, has it really garnered the kind of respect and importance to the country, do you think, overall? I'm talking about just regular people, agencies, government. Do you think it's garnered the amount of respect and importance that it should?
I believe it has. I think during the pandemic and epidemic,
Yeah.
things have changed in the scope of mental health. But there was a question that you asked me in terms of, do I think that treatments only entail medication? No, I do not. I believe that people can, you know, have success when they are in therapy. It depends on the severity and functions of their symptoms that may impact them and warrant them to have the medication. So it's case by case in terms of that previous question. Now, in terms of what you just asked, I think the landscape of mental health will continue to grow. There's so many social cultural issues that are
Yeah.
happening that impacts one's mindset. um, I think it will continue to grow.
Okay. Well, and that's the case. If it's garnered the kind of respect in terms of funding, would you say it's in a progressive state or a regressive state in
I
terms of
think,
funding?
well, we're in the election year, and I think it's important
Yeah.
that individuals and communities pay attention to what programs, what incentives, platforms that your local um, representatives are stating, because that's what matters. We have to vote not only for president, but also for our local
Yes.
politicians. That will
Absolutely.
that will impact our resources. Remember, we talked about the limited access to resources. So we need to pay attention to what resources are out there and making sure that the resources you need in your community to do collective healing are available to those constituents.
Absolutely. I think that was important what you said about those local elections. We kind of poo-poo those so much, but
Mhm.
those are ones that's going to directly affect your day-to-day life.
Yes.
And not saying that the presidency won't, but those local, I look at it like I tell people, when you paying bills, the stuff that's going to affect you daily, you need your car, you need your house, you need your lights, you need some food.
Mhm.
Those are the most important things. I guess the little you go through the iPass thing and you didn't pay your toll, that can wait later. But the important, but the important things. So, well, let me ask you. Okay, Sonia. All right, I'm feeling depressed. I think I want to talk to somebody. What should I look for in terms of looking for a therapist? Because I don't know. I mean, what type of things should I be looking for?
That's the question. I think one of the things you have to remember during the process is just like trying on shoes. You have to get the one that you feel comfortable, the one that you feel a sense of connection, and one that has the skill set to help you. There are a plethora of different mental health specialists out here. There psychologists, social workers, counselors, pastoral counseling, all those types of things. Depends on what your symptoms are, right? And what is it that you need? So if you're feeling depressed and it's been that way for a while, you may need to see a psychiatrist. You may need to see a psychologist, right? You should definitely look at different resources, do self help first initially, depending on where you are in your symptomology. But then you can also look on different sites. You know, there are therapy for Black girls, therapy for Black men, women. Your local pro bono services, if you can't afford service based upon your insurance, every state has pro bono counseling. You need to look it up. If you have insurance, check out your insurance provider. Make check into the behavioral health systems, right? There are also intensive outpatient centers at local hospitals and groups that you can gain services from. So there are many resources out there. You just have to know what they are and feel
Absolutely.
comfortable and patient.
Absolutely. And I always heard people say once you can go to the therapist, but the patient, the one who had to put in the actual work. And my question is, because it's not like a one-stop shop. Do you think when someone's really going through therapy, do you think it's a continuous lifestyle change? I don't know how often they would probably continue to see a therapist, but it's not like a 6-week program. Then now I'm straight. Is it a constant, continual thing, or is it more by case basis?
It's client centered and it's case by case. You know, some people only need 4 sessions. And remember, I said mental health is not just about mental illness; it's about wellness too.
Yes.
So, you know, communication styles, you know, how you show up, your agency. So we have to stop pathologizing the whole idea of gaining services because sometimes it's not pathological. It could just be about wellness.
Okay.
So it one person can have 1 session and be okay versus some people would want 20 sessions or you know, so it really depends on the need of the client.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get you out of here on this. Let me. So, for there anyone out there who have been thinking about seeing someone, or you have any final words, or just a general thing about mental health?
Absolutely. Mental health matters. Your mental health matters. You know, you have to give yourself permission in the event that you feel anything that impacts your ability to function, right? Pay attention to your body. When you think about mental health, it's weighed the same as physical health. And many times, you know, mind and spirit and body
Yes.
work hand in hand. So if you feel as though that you're out of touch, you don't feel good about yourself, or you just don't feel right, seek help. Get an opinion. Doesn't mean anything can be wrong. It can mean you just need a checkup, a tune up, and there's nothing wrong with it. Give yourself permission because, one, you deserve it. When you think about Black men and women and children, we've gone through a lot of cultural trauma, systemic trauma, and we deserve to live well. It is in our destiny to live well. Trauma doesn't have to be in our story anymore, but we have to give ourselves permission. So what I would say to you is if you feel as though that you need help, seek it. Speak to many people, your church, your hairdresser, whoever to get it out. But then if you need more intensive care, definitely seek a therapist out. And we're out here to support you. There are Black psychologists and social workers and mental health providers that are ready to help people in our community.
That's awesome too. And that's people. I know a lot of people say, "Well, I'm just going to trust God." Well, sometimes God put people in place to help us. We can
Right.
sit there. So there's nothing wrong with talking to someone. But I would like to thank you so much, Dr. Clyburn, for joining me this evening. Got a lot of helpful information. Helped me. A lot of things I learned. Hopefully, someone can get something from this and know that mental health matters. And only way to be our best selves is if we are spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, everything fits. So I really
Ashe.
appreciate you.
Ashe. And thank you for the opportunity. And anytime I'll be here. Anything for our collective healing.
Definitely. I appreciate it. Okay. Take care.
All
I look forward
righty.
to talking to you. All right.
All
Take care.
right. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Hope y'all enjoyed that. I'm going to end it, but I'm going to, it's a couple things that are on my mind real quick. I have to do this. I have to do this. Real quick. Now, first I have to do this. I was watching people talking about Bronny James. Now, we need to stop this. We need to stop this. We need to stop. They saying he didn't earn it. Okay, say what you want. The Lakers had to pick him up. LeBron hadn't resigned yet. And why are we, I'm talking about black people, why are we tripping on some black privilege? You wouldn't put your child on, particularly a child who wants it. It's not like he's not putting in work. So whatever. And I love the way LeBron, see, I don't get in that debate like the GOAT. I know who my GOAT is, but I respect LeBron from a whole different level. How he's changed the game. He's exercising his power, a power that we normally don't have. So I'm gonna tell y'all something too. We got to stop that. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis, the actress, her daddy's Tony Curtis. And I found out her mother is the original lady in the movie Psycho. You know, Kirk Douglas, Michael Douglas, Angelina Jolie. I forgot her dad's name. So chill out with that. I'm gonna tell y'all something too. I'm gonna keep it real. Man, my air conditioner out. Y'all see me? I'm sweating like a hostage up in here. That's all right. That's let me know. I'm gonna continue to do the right thing because me and Hades will not meet. I can't go to hell. All right. Next topic, real quick before we get out of here. Something that was on my mind. Oh yeah, this crazy stuff here. Listen, we're gonna get more as we get closer to the end. But I'm gonna say this here. When I saw that debate, this was noticed. Trump is still just throwing random stuff out without data. And I don't mean this in a negative way. Joe Biden at any time looked like he could have passed out. I promise you. He was gibberish. These are our choices. These are our choices. Now, I'm not gonna get into who voting and who you should vote. I think that's more of a cultural thing. From what I've seen, I don't want to generalize, but from what I've seen, a lot of Caucasians, they don't like to tell you who they vote for. Black folks will tell you. Yeah, as it stands right now, I'm still going to vote Democrat. I'm going to vote for Biden. Not that I'm impressed with Biden at all, but I think Trump is just dangerous. Now, do I agree with some of the stuff he says? Yeah, but no. So we're going to get more into that as we get closer to the election. At the next debate, we'll talk about it. But lastly, something I want to talk about real quick before we get out of here. All right. I had a date. The other day, day before yesterday. Me and my daughter. We went to the Titanic exhibition. My daughter and myself, we have this fascination and reverence and fear of the ocean. And this Titanic saga, we are like all in. We're all in. I've been interested as a child. My daughter, she adopted that because we talked about it. We actually watched the movie again the other day. But this has nothing to do with what I'm going to say. We were there. I had to use the bathroom. So You know what? I don't know what's going on today. I don't know. It's hot. I don't know. We have a power outage, but my computer keep going down. But that's okay though. I'm glad for y'all sticking with me too. So this is what we're gonna do. I want to finish this last little thing I'm gonna talk about. That I'm done for real. I just have to talk about this. I just have to. It's in my spirit to say this. Like I said, we went to the Titanic joint. We did that, as I showed y'all. All right. Then I had to use the restroom. Now, it's certain man laws we should have. Certain man laws. Now, when using the bathroom, you don't stand right next to no one if there's an open urinal. Now, in this picture here, I'm assuming this might be at the airport. A lot of times you don't have a lot of choices. So this is okay. Now, if this cat came last in orange, he should have went there. Okay. Now, this is what we don't want. And if we are there standing next to each other, don't do this. Don't talk to me when I'm right next to you in the bathroom, particularly if I don't know you. This is unacceptable. A dude did this to me at the in the bathroom. What do we have to talk about, dude? I don't even know you. And sometimes there I have a divider in the middle, but even then, you don't talk to no one when I use the bathroom. You just don't. Man law. Only thing I want you saying to me, if you see a tarantula dangling down about to land on my head, other than that, don't say nothing to me. Now, these cats here, I don't know what they're doing. Now, this is ridiculous. Now, they separated themselves, but why are they holding hands? Even if they're a couple, you can't wait till you, let me stop. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And lastly, this is what it should look like. See, got a urinal in the middle. They looking straight forward, handling their business. This how it should be, people. So listen, fellas, if you go to, man, look, don't stand right next to nobody unless it's so packed that you cannot get on, or go inside a stall. You know what I'm saying? People may say that's petty, but I don't care. I believe in that. But yeah, but listen, y'all, a couple things. Thank you for bearing with me when I had some glitches. Hey, thank you. Another thing, bear with me. I'm sweating like a hog up in here, but it's all right. Hopefully the AC will get taken care of. But remember, y'all, mental health is a real thing. Seek help. It's okay. Your churches might have programs, or they may know some things. And if you got insurance, use it. That's what insurance is for. And like she said, there are several programs that you can use. You can seek out to get help. Mental health is a real thing. We got to get our mental right. So thanks for joining us. Episode number 4, Dissecting Mental Health. And another thing, people, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. You must go to YouTube. Danye F. Jones. Then my stuff will pull up. Just subscribe. Check out the shorts. Check out some of my past shows. We're going to keep this thing rolling. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting. And those who haven't supported yet, stick around. I'm going to try to make you guys support because I'm here to help. Love y'all. Peace, hair grease, and all and all those other good things. Hope you guys have a great holiday weekend. Although it's not a holiday I celebrate, but I am going to cue because I cue on any day. It don't even matter. Much love to y'all. Holla.
Things going on in the world today. Every time Dick and Harry got something to say, but what they said ain't got no fabric to it. Yay takes and thoughts with dice right through it. It's all about rumors and people feuding. If we're not uplifting, then what we doing? Yeah, they love the culture, yet they trying to wreck it. But are we ready to go hard to protect it? If we don't stand firm, then we should have